This is Simon Wu with GameDistiller Productions here at RTX 2015, and we're so incredibly fortunate to have Mr. Ray Narvaez Jr., Brown Man himself.
Thank you for having me. Not actually that brown. It's a nickname that's followed me since middle school.
Indeed. But you've really embraced it and made it your own.
I have. It's I don't know, something that kind of stuck, and I don't know why, because like I said, growing up in Long Island, I was like, right. This was considered dark. A lot of Caucasians, and then they're like, oh man, you're Ray, we know other Rays, you're darker, you're like the Spanish one. So it's kind of racist actually. Ooh. But I'm kind of just like, whatever, kind of just roll with it. I mean, that's kind of who I am now, you know.
Roll with it,
just roll with it, kind of try to not let anything bother me, just roll with the punches and just get past it.
Exactly.
If it's anything bad, get past it.
Can't live life with all that.
Yeah, exactly. Life's too short to be negative, just whatever.
So you are formerly now Achievement Hunter, moving on to your own venue, you know, your own venture. You've become an independent Twitch streamer.
Yes.
So kind of, can you just let us know what that transition's really been like, moving from this now huge media outlet of hundreds of people, literally hundreds of people now.
Hundreds of people. I think I was employee 30. God, I was like mid-30s, like 33 or something, and for it to
excel, it's like
triple,
exponential.
More than triple in 3 years is absurd in a good way. Yeah.
You know, to self-employment, just you on your own, you versus the world, doing your own thing. What's that been like?
Well, the biggest thing for anything like this is it's the paycheck, because obviously no matter what happened at work, whether we were super busy or we were super slow, you're guaranteed a paycheck, and things like health insurance and all that important stuff. And then taking that risk and going to Twitch was terrifying, to put it bluntly. I was terrified, my girlfriend was terrified, my family was like, what are you doing? But I just believed in my audience, the fan base I've built up for 6 years. I'm like, I think if I were to leave and do something different, that they will follow me. And thankfully they did. And the past 3.5, 4 months have been outstanding. It's been very humbling to know that people will support me. And when it comes down to it, all I'm doing is I'm just playing video games in front of an audience. Some people will be like, if I'm having a rough day, I put your stream on and you make me laugh, you make me feel better. And it's just it's crazy. I've been playing games since I was 2, so like almost my whole life. And I never thought my hobby can turn, one, into a job, and two, a job that can I can live comfortably and be able to maintain my life. And just in case of an emergency, God forbid, sent to my girlfriend or my family, I can support them.
Sure. And so, can you talk a little bit about you talked a little bit about your audience and how they followed you?
Yeah.
Was it kind of you had your own personal cult or following at AH, and then they all moved over, and have you gotten really any kind of new people that have jumped on as part of your lone venture?
So I'd say, God, a large percentage. If I had to honestly take a guess, I'd say like 95% of the audience, maybe 90-95% are probably from Rooster Teeth or my time before that. But there are definitely some people who come in who just will see me from Twitch, because Twitch will display their games with how many people are viewing them. So, and I play some crazy stuff because whatever, it interests me. So if some people will see this like game that's never up there, they'll check it out and they'll be like, oh man, who's this playing unknown game? And then they'll follow that way.
Yeah.
But I would say, back to the original question, I definitely, there's definitely the fans that love everybody and everybody choose their favorites. But they're, just kind of gauging, from Twitter or what have you, or events like this or PAX, I kind of saw that, I have my own core audience who, will follow me and do whatever. And, just seeing that for years and kind of just, paying attention to little things. And, I did some streaming. I started in December 2013, so I did that as a hobby, and just kind of using that as a, as a gauge to see. I felt that I was comfortable, that I could, I could be fine doing this.
Right, and so one of the panels here is actually, "Shut up! I've got 5 guys yelling in my ear." I think it's behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. So, I think that was actually a very apt description of what life is like, what life was like for you at Achievement Hunter.
Yeah.
What's that like, going from Jeff and Jack and Gavin all around you doing let's builds, let's plays, to you in a room?
Yeah, it's literally just me in a room. It's a lot more quiet, I'll tell you that much. And it's a lot more, I don't want to say it's less stressful, because I mean it's still stressful running a Twitch channel, but it's a more relaxed vibe. Like, I don't have to, what people don't know is, in the Achievement Hunter videos, sometimes we would kind of play characters of ourselves.
Yeah.
So like, if the video wasn't entertaining, we would, get louder or do kind of crazy things to try to make it entertaining because we had a schedule and we had to stick to it. Where now with this, I feel like it's more kind of just me. Like I'm kind of more relaxed and chill, unless something crazy happens. But then I'll raise my voice or what have you. But it's kind of nice to be like, guys, I'm going to play this game for however long. You guys are welcome to hang out, chill out, relax. Sometimes I play with my audience; they love that. But the Vive itself is more relaxing, and I would say not as stressful as keeping to a schedule because I have like a loose schedule. Like I tell people I stream on these days, but the times are like whenever, which is another great part of being a streamer. Just the flexibility of everything, being able to play whatever you want to play, whenever you want to play is really, 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 really nice.
Yeah. So basically, what he's saying is you're the Stephen Colbert of video gaming, right? You had the character, but now you've shed that and kind of moved on to your own venture.
Some people can pick up on it, but some people believe, like, is Gavin really that stupid? No, he's not. No, he's one of the smartest people I know, especially in front of, or I guess technically behind the a slow-mo camera. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to make the video entertaining.
For sure. So what has kind of been more the technically difficult part of becoming solo and streaming on your own? Because before you had all this support, you had all of this, really expensive equipment, just set up, ready for you to go, and then, moving on.
At first, it was definitely getting, decent equipment to make the stream as high quality as I can. Obviously, over time, I upgraded some more things. Another thing that's very difficult is is talking, as well as that sounds, because if right now, since I have nobody else to bounce off of, it's just me in the chat. But if the chat is, say, slow, or they're going off on like a tangent about something, you still need to you have to talk. You have to keep constantly talking. Yeah, because if there's
generating
if there's like any like extended silence, it's like awkward, or people be like, this guy's really not entertaining, or leave. So it's constantly like talking and being entertaining for hours at a time. When we're at Achievement Hunter doing Let's Plays, if there's any like dead moment, you can cut that out. And like I said before, you have people to bounce off of. So it's just constantly trying to be entertaining and keeping people there for however long you stream, 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, or whatever. That's probably the hardest part, I would say, is keeping people there and not watching numbers, I would say, because obviously with something like Twitch, people will sub and unsub, and numbers will constantly fluctuate, and you try not to pay attention to that, but I mean at the same time it's like almost always there, like the number going up and down. But it's well worth it in my opinion, because I love what I do. I wish I did it earlier, but I mean everything happens for a reason. Yeah, at least that's how I feel. But it's been a blast so far.
Yeah, so actually you talked about, wanting to perhaps move on, make this transition earlier. When you first joined Achievement Hunters like 6 years ago, what was your mentality going into that? Was this is a step in my journey to ultimately becoming something else, or is just I'm going to see where this takes me? Well,
when the site was created so long ago that I thought it was the coolest thing, and I spent 3 years doing it for free and doing a contract that's like I want to work there because I want to play games for a living. So after 3 years of doing that, I finally got officially hired, and I did that for 3 years. I was just hired to do achievement guides. We weren't even doing Let's Plays at the time. That's right. And then just when we started doing Let's Plays, like everything kind of shifted towards that. And I didn't have problems with Let's Plays, but eventually I just got burnt out. And I know a lot of them got burnt out, but I just I felt like maybe I was the most burnt out, and that's why I left. But doing playing Minecraft for 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. You just run out of ideas, and so you have to play it at least once a week, sometimes more. And even with GTA, and sometimes it's not the game's fault, or not the game's fault, excuse me. Sometimes just technical issues, like we lost our audio, so like 3 hours is gone. That's annoying. Or even sometimes the game, like for Minecraft, for example, like the world won't load, so we're just standing here, just waiting, and it kind of just like everybody will kind of just be like take a deep breath and just be like this again, and it kind of like ruins the mood. And then that's where we have to like kind of put on a fake face, the little things. Yeah, the little things kind of just add up. And I really, really liked streaming when I did it for the first time. And I would just kind of like watch other streamers who do it full time and kind of like gauge what they do, what people like, what people don't like. And I kind of did my research, like how Twitch pays you, like if you have any benefits and stuff like that. So if you want to do something like Twitch or anything on your on your own or just in general, be sure to like research it. Don't go in blind, because there's a very good chance it's not going to work. And you could just put yourself in a worse situation than you were in originally.
Wise words. Yeah. And then so finally, what has been your kind of favorite game to stream?
My favorite game to stream
this?
My favorite Twitch moment was probably my first stream where I was overwhelmed by all the support and very humbled, and that after that first stream I was very, very confident I could do it full time. My favorite game to stream, it's weird because it's like I'm constantly playing different things. Right now it's a new Yu-Gi-Oh game that came out, Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. A lot of people like the game because the story mode has the original show that a lot of people watched as kids. So people come in and be like, "Oh my god, I remember that, nostalgia, this and that," and then the chat just becomes like people just reminiscing about memories from like them playing the card game or them watching the show. And recently, that's been my go-to game. It's been a blast, and it brings in a large audience for the kind of game it is. But besides that, any game I get to play with my chat, whether it's like Mario Kart or Halo or Call of Duty, I love playing games with my chat, and they're really into it as well.
Awesome. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much
for
taking
having
time
me.
out of your schedule
it.
to talk with us, and best of luck on your new venture moving forward.
Thank you, guys.